Good morning, Jai Hind, everybody. Today's conference, Two and a Half Front for India's Internal Security Challenges, is brought to you by Indic Researchers Forum, a think tank that aims at bringing out quality research on geopolitics, national security, international relations through a civilizational perspective. With the onset of 21st century, the world witnessed a significant increase in non-state attacks, more audacious and ingenious with radical transformation of technology and socio-religious reforms. The need to address the issue of terrorism, insurgency, and non-conventional security challenges of the 21st century has found roots in India's inability to appropriately tackle down the downsides of the globalized world and modern technology. India's adversaries are not limited to the threat of external hostilities. India faces complex belligerence through conventional and non-conventional threats. The insurgency movements such as Khalistan in India finds support and safe haven in antagonist states like Pakistan, while in the northeast, China threatens the internal stability of the nation. The ability of external states to fund, offer moral support, and provide military assistance to insurgent groups within India's border requires an analysis of India's internal security strategies. Late General Bipin Rawat's idea, Two and a Half Front War, is a perspicacious and accurate representation of complexity India faces in terms of its external and internal security. The concept Two and a Half Front War explains the complex multi-front and coordinated internal security concerns for India. Given this background and context, the Indic Researchers Forum is organizing a series conference on the concept of Two and a Half Front War. The first in line of the exploratory series is a two-day conference on India's internal security and counter-terrorism measures. Tracing the history and experiences of insurgency and terrorism in India to build a cohesive understanding of India's security concerns and strategies for national defense and discern how global cooperation is being facilitated to counter hostilities. This conference will focus on topics of pertinence such as India's regional insurgency movements, the threat of extremist ideology, politics of the left and Islamic extremism, terrorism, to identify India's concerns and renewed goals and strategies to deal with the extremist violence in the globalized world. The two-day conference organized on 11 February 2022, that is today, and 12 February 2022, that is tomorrow, will feature interactive sessions with esteemed guest speakers with an understanding of India's counterterrorism strategies and provide a critical space for understanding the geopolitics of insurgency and terrorism on a regional and a global level. Now, to deliver the keynote address in the inaugural session, we have two eminent personalities. First, we have Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar sir. Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar, Vishisht Seva Medal, PhD, is a former MGOC Central Command. He has commanded key logistic units of the Indian Army, such as Commandant of Central Ordnance Depot and Divisional Ordnance Units of an Infantry and Rapid Divisions. He has done active services in operational areas of Jammu and Kashmir and the Northeast. He is a recipient of Vishisht Seva Medal awarded by the President of India. He has also been awarded the Army Commander's Commendation twice. He holds a doctorate in emotional intelligence and is a certified NLP practitioner coach. I request Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar sir to deliver his keynote address. Over to you, sir. Rajan sir, yes.
Thank you, Satya. At the outset, I wish to compliment Yashash and his young team of Indic Researchers Forum for bringing out this wonderful summit of 2 days on a very important issue, which is concerning our national security. We need to deliberate in the next 2 days, and we are indeed fortunate that we have a galaxy of eminent personalities and speakers who would be speaking on various issues, and we in the Indic Researchers Forum are going to compile these details and make a comprehensive note and forward it to the government, because and with the end state of the entire efforts of the next 2 days. I am today reminded of the famous quote of Kautilya in Arthashastra, when he said there are four different kinds of threats which our country is facing. One is internal, one is external, one is externally aided internal, and the fourth is internally aided external. The internal security scenario in India has a mix of all the shades of threat, visualized by Kautilya. According to an estimate, 252 of the country's 640 districts are presently affected with varying intensity of subversive, insurgent, and terrorist activities. And out of these, Maoists are creating mayhem in 173 districts. Pakistan-backed separatists are stirring trouble in 15 districts of Jammu and Kashmir, and various separatist and secessionist outfits are active in 64 districts of six northeastern states. So you can imagine that how this spread of terrorism and insurgency is spreading all over the country. India has a land border of 15,000 kilometers, which it shares with seven countries. Small segment is with Afghanistan also. China is likely to remain a long-term challenge for India, and the collision of China and Pakistan is of our gravest concern. Afghanistan can also not be forgotten in the scheme of things, as most of these terrorists are breeding there, waiting for an opportunity to come to Jammu and Kashmir. If one were to take a panoramic view of the internal security situation as it has dawned since independence, you will find that every major decade there has been a major problem of internal security. If you go back to the 50s, we saw the Northeast problem coming up. Fizo raised the banner of revolt in Nagaland in 1954. The 60s saw the beginning of the Naxalbari movement, starting from a small village at the tri-junction of India. The 70s saw a turbulence in Assam and the formation of Alpha. The 80s witnessed one of the most lethal terrorist movements in Punjab, Khalistan, which was aided and abetted by Pakistan. And now there are attempts to revive it. The 90s saw the beginning of insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, and the current decade has been marked by the onslaught of international terrorism in the hinterland. What was so far confined to Jammu and Kashmir has gradually become a pan-India phenomenon. Therefore, if we summarize the major emerging challenges in the area of internal security, we can say a threat of terrorism, international and domestic, a possibility of jihadi elements fanning the flames of insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, China fishing in the troubled waters in the northeast, and the Maoist insurgency spread to other areas, largely due to an absence of a strategic plan to deal with the problem. We have a very strong military muscle, and our economic strength has been steadily growing, and yet we are often termed as a soft state. A country-specific report prepared by the Counter-Terrorism Committee of the United Nations revealed gaping holes in India's preparedness to tackle terrorism. The report called for an adoption of a comprehensive counter-terrorism legislation to overcome the menace. India has all the resources and the trappings of emerging great power, and there is no reason why we should not be able to deal with the threats to internal security more effectively. I'm extremely happy that this summit over the next 2 days is dedicated in the memory of General Bipin Rawat and will focus on all the issues I mentioned, particularly Islamic terrorism, jihadi movement, counter-terrorism measures, left-wing extremism, civil society, and many related issues. I compliment Yashas and his team of young volunteers for coming forward to organize this very important event. My best wishes for the deliberations. Jai Hind.
Jain sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your powerful start to our conference.